Hey there, everybody. This is Randy Dalton coming to you from R&B Properties. Wanted to talk today about the Landlord-Tenant Board. A couple things that I want to talk about, but before we go there, a little administrative matter, a couple of administrative matters. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. We'd love to reach more and more people, and that's certainly going to help us do that. The other thing is feel free to provide comments in the comments section below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. That really helps me to understand what people are looking for and provide more content on that particular topic in the future. So let's talk about the Landlord-Tenant Board. This is positive news. This is kudos for the Landlord-Tenant Board. I can't believe it. I have been to 2 or 3 Zoom meetings during COVID-19. I think they used Microsoft Teams for a while. And it was nicer than going in person because you didn't have to drive, you didn't have to find a parking spot, you didn't have to pay for the parking, you didn't have to walk to the building, you didn't have to deal with all the people and all the drama that's going on. There's often, people yelling and screaming in the hallways at each other, lots of stuff going on. So when they've moved to the technology, it certainly was a step forward, but it really wasn't taking great advantage of the technology. It really wasn't very efficient. They have now figured out, they switched from Microsoft Teams, and I don't know if it was a limitation with Teams, but they have switched to Zoom and they are using the breakout rooms. And not only are they using the breakout rooms, in the past, I have to say, the adjudicator, I felt so bad for them because they had to do everything. They had to take attendance. They had to send people off to deal with mediation or duty counsel. They had to, do the hearings. They had to do everything basically on their own. Way too much for one person to handle, to do it all at once. So they have brought in moderators. And the hearing that I was at last week, there was 2 moderators on the call, and their job was to basically take attendance. And when they took attendance, they found out your name and they found out who you were: tenant, paralegal, landlord representative, or landlord agent. And that you got labeled. So you could see all the people in the room, you could see their names, and you could see who they were, which was really nice. I could scan very quickly and see, even though many people had their videos turned off, I could scan the room very quickly and see my tenant's not here. Right? So I knew I'm probably going to be out of here in an hour and a half. This is great. But what happened was unbelievable. I was out in 43 minutes. So the moderator's responsibility now was basically from attendance to playing traffic cop. You want mediation? You're the tenant. Is the landlord here? Landlord, do you want mediation? Yes. Okay, off you go into a breakout room with a mediator. Tenant wants duty counsel? Off you go into a breakout room. And they had like 4 or 5 duty counsels on the call. They had people from all over the place. So depending on where you were, you'd go see the Toronto duty counsel or Hamilton, or I think there was one from York region, Niagara region. So you got sent off to see these duty counsel in your particular area. Absolutely unbelievably efficient. You could see, I think there was like 65-ish people in the call. You could see it going down, you could see it going up, you could see it going down. At one point in time, there was maybe like 20 people on the call because people were in different rooms doing different things. It was absolutely fantastic. So what ended up happening there, they play traffic cop. My 30 minutes was up. My tenant hadn't showed up. I have to wait the 30 minutes. I think it was 33 minutes, 34 minutes. The moderator came to me and said, your tenant isn't arrived. Would you like to go see an adjudicator? Yes, I would. Absolutely. Send me in. Off I went into a hearing room. Me and the adjudicator are there. Asked a couple of questions. We went through the numbers. Like I said, my meeting started at 9. I was done and turning off Zoom at 9:43. Unbelievably efficient. So kudos to the Landlord-Tenant Board for doing that. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I was talking with a potential client last week. This particular client having lots of problems with a tenant, lots of problems doing damage, causing grief with the neighbors, just a problem tenant. And he wasn't doing anything. And I asked him, why aren't you doing something about this? And he said, well, you know, the landlord tenant board, it's a mess. Like the lineup, the backlog is unbelievable. I just, you know, rather not deal with it right now. Right? That was his answer. And honestly, it's I didn't say anything to him because, you know, that everybody has their choices. But I want to talk to everybody out there, whether you're a client or a potential client or just listening in on property management techniques. That's all fair and wonderful. But if you have issues, and this is for tenants as well, if you have issues, don't sit on it. Don't sit and wait. You know, it's going to take an awfully long time if you do nothing. If you start the process, submit your application. You know, the landlord tenant board, despite what I saw and that it's getting more efficient, it's going to have a backlog for a long time. But if you get your application in and it's 6 months to get a hearing, it's 6 months to get a hearing. You know what? If you don't put in the application, it's going to take a lot longer than 6 months. So get your application in. That's the big thing that I wanted to say today. So number one, kudos to the landlord tenant board. They're doing fantastic. And to all the landlords out there and all the tenants out there who are having issues, don't sit on it. Get that application in and get one day closer to a hearing and resolution to your concerns and your problems. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you're all having a great day. And we will see you back here again real soon. Bye for now.